Hi fashion designer, welcome to my channel. Are you looking for a beginner project? This is definitely for you. This handbag, it is so easy. In this tutorial, I am going to share with you how to draft and sew this bag pattern. And you don't need much. I used vinyl for this bag. You can use any fabric of your choice except stretch material. So if you want to know how to draft this pattern, stay tuned and let's get started. So we're going to start by drafting the bag pattern, and I have my pattern paper here on fold. So what I'm going to do is to first mark a straight line here on top. Then this is going to be the base line. I'm going to start with the length of the bag, which is 24.5 centimeters. And then the width of the bag is going to be around 16 cm. So we are going to actually draft a rectangle of around 24.5 centimeter by 16. So right here on top, I'm going to first mark the 3 centimeter and then mark again from the bottom. Actually, I am going to mark 12 centimeter going up. So what I'm going to do is to extend this 12 centimeter point all across the pattern paper. Then from that 3 centimeter, I am going to mark another 3 cm next to it. This is the width of your bag. So I'm going to mark 3 centimeter over here. And then what I'm going to do now is to shape the bottom of the bag. I'm going to take my curved ruler and I'm just going to allow the curved ruler to actually direct me or to create the curve right at the bottom. And then I'm going to extend this to the first 3 centimeter point like this. Now to shape the inside of the bag right here on this point or the 12 centimeter mark, I'm going to mark 3 centimeter going down. Then I'm going to create an incurved like this. And I'm also going to be using a curved ruler also. So this mark, the 3 cm, is going to connect to the other 3 cm point that we have marked. And the opening of the bag, it is done. I've added 1 cm around the pattern from the outside, including the inside. To create the side panel, you need to measure around. Make sure that you measure before the seam allowance. And mine is actually 28.5 cm. So I'm going to first create a base line over here. This is where we're going to start to implement our measurements, and the length of this base or side panel is going to be around 28.5 cm. It's very important also to measure the side of your pattern paper to get the accurate number. So the width of this triangle is going to be around 12 centimeters. And I'm just going to create a rectangle over here just like this. Mark the center point of this rectangle and mark 3 cm on both sides. And then once you've marked 3 cm, right at the bottom here, it's going to be cut on fold. I'm going to mark 10.5 cm going up, and I'll mark this 10.5 across the shape. And then from this 10.5, I'm going to connect it all the way to the 3 cm points that I've marked. And there it go. Go ahead now and add seam allowance of around 1 cm around the pattern except the bottom. And this is how your pattern should turn out. So I have marked or cut out my pattern pieces. I've used this lining and it's a little bit soft. I'm going to use a vinyl for this bag. So I've used a blue vinyl for this, as you can see. So let me show you how to actually put all the pieces together. To actually sew this bag together, you will need the front panel piece, which is the main fabric, and I'm going to place a zip. Now before I do that, I like to create some snip around the zip. Since you'll be sewing the zip are on the curved side, it's very important to actually create some snippets. I went ahead and I pinned it down. Make sure to leave 1 cm right on the top. take your lining and place it right sides facing, and also pin it. Make sure you leave 1 cm right on the top, and then you're going to sew around this shape. Now when you're done, again, make sure you create some snippets and don't cut through the seam. Turn this lining the correct side and do a top stitch. And this is how it looks. So the next thing you want to do is to attach the other side of your bag. So I'm going to take or close the zip first and take the other panel. Make sure it's right sides facing and the zipper teeth are actually facing the main fabric. And then once you're done pinning it down like this, also attach your lining. So it's almost the same process as the other side. This part is actually optional, but I like to attach my piping on my bag, and I'm using a piping that is used for backpacks, and you can use this piping also on your domestic machine. So once you are done doing that, I am going to attach my side panel. Make sure you do also match the center notches. Once you're done pinning this down, you want to sew a straight stitch right around the bag. And when you're done, what I like to do is to check if I didn't miss any stitches as I sewed around the bag. And when I'm happy, I go ahead now and attach this panel right onto the other side. The most important thing is to make sure that you do match the notches. If you have reached this part of the tutorial, don't forget to share and also like. Now, once you're done doing this, I am going to match the notches and then pin around the side panel. Then go ahead, take this into the sewing machine and sew a straight stitch. And I am going to open up the bag, as you can see, and just checking it on the inside, no seams were missed. So now it's time to attach the side panel of the lining. It's almost the same process, making sure that you do match the center notches for the sides and also the center panel. So as you can see that I'm pinning it down, and I'm going to take it to sewing machine and sew a straight stitch around. And I'm going to take the lining now and pass it through the other side. Make sure that the lining is right sides facing, and as you pin this down, you want to make sure that you leave an opening so that you can turn the whole bag the correct side, and leave enough opening so that you can take out or turn the whole bag. So over here, once you're done, you want to also turn it the correct side, and this is how it turned out. I'm really loving this lining. For the strap, I tried to make a shorter strap. It's around 24 cm, about 6 centimeters wide. So what you want to do is to fold the side like this, 1 cm, and then once you fold the side 1 cm, and then you're going to fold it again in half. Then take it to the sewing machine and sew a straight stitch right here on the side. And this is how it turned out once it's complete. Now, with your bag on the inside, you want to insert the strip right in between the layers like this, and then just pin it down. And then also onto the other side, you want to attach your strap. Make sure that your strap is right on the center, and then you want to pin down and take this to the sewing machine when you're done and sew a straight stitch. The bag is almost complete. Once you're done doing that, make sure that you do close the lining opening. And when you do this, make sure the zip is open. So once you're done, this is how it turned out. I'm going to turn my bag the correct side and I'll show you how it turned out.